here in Long Beach with Creature, the hairless cat, managerial.
I love it. Manager, he only takes 7%. He'll tell you that to change management, he'll only take 7%. So, you know, I'm a musician as well. Nick's a musician. We tour. We do 250 shows a year as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think it is? Why we like to be on the road? Are we scared of our own home?
I love talking about this kind of shit, man, because I feel like every musician, every person I've bumped into is a little different. Some people don't like being out on the road. I call it like the juice, like for music. What's the juice for you? Are you a studio guy? Are you like the performer guy, behind the scenes writer, engineer dude? Or are you just the tour road dog? And some people are a mix of many of those different ones. But for me, I just love swinging in that fucking hammock and the pirate ship, man. Just we only got one job today, and that's to, you know, fucking make land break and maraud around town and put on a crazy show. And then I knew I feel fulfilled for that day. And doesn't matter how much sleep or how little sleep or anything else, it just all kind of melts away, dude. I always say that if I didn't luck out and get this lifestyle, which I'm very fortunate to get to do, I'd probably be like a hobo hopping on like boxcars.
Yeah,
life
like that book.
attractive.
So you're an adrenaline junkie.
You know, the wanderlust, I think it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. I love just not being in one place for too long.
Yeah, let's dissect that. What was your childhood like?
Oh man, mixed. You know, I definitely didn't have it as bad as other folks, and it wasn't perfect, obviously. You know, mom and dad were they came from, you know, humble beginnings, that kind of thing, like that. And I wouldn't say like, you know, we were just fucking destitute or poor or anything like that. But they were the type of people who, you know, it's like kids having kids. It was just sort of like crazy chaos, a lot of white trash party kind of vibes.
Yeah.
But then the other half of growing up, that was all in San Diego. The other half was me in Long Beach with my grandparents, who were much more well off. You know, they were, I guess, a little bit more normal, white picket fence, still real cool people. So I never felt like I fit in with any one of those categories. My parents, they seemed like they had like this, you know, streetwise, cool kind of vibe where they just were like knowledgeable about that whole world. And my grandparents, these like super hyper educated folks. And no matter which one, I didn't fit in. So that theme like totally, you know, followed me my entire life. That's why it's the sun and the moon kind of thing. And I'm all bipolar and shit too. So I think that's always going to be a big thing for me. And what's weird is the place where I feel the most even on the road, I think it's because I'm used to that chaos and that uncertainty, you know?
Yeah, and because you're running away from yourself because you've always had that in you. Like this one, you're like being in one town for one day so no one gets to know you.
Yeah.
Oh, deeply. Yeah, I'm not a good texter or texter backer, you know? Like, someone will literally send me something and I'll look at it, read it and go, huh, well, that's nice. And then I'll close my phone. Like, to me, that's just a normal thing that I have no, you know, it's weird, you know, forming connections and stuff like that.
What made you go to your parents' house or your grandparents' house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I would spend the summers there with them and stuff. You know, they were very like helping me out and that sort of thing. And, you know, it's not to disparage my mom and my stepdad. You know, those people they're rad people. And we have a good relationship nowadays, but it was a long road to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was the road? What happened?
Well, you know, they have asked me. It's so funny because my mom's like, "You got to stop saying all this shit in interviews and podcasts." I'm like, "Well, it's all true." And she's like, "Yeah, but people don't need to know that crap."
Well,
they want to, yeah.
Well, it's also like people. If you're trying to get to know you as a person, it's how we were taught, right?
And the way I look at it, if there's anybody in similar situations, and again, it's never like, I think I always have this fear where, you know, I've kind of grown out of this now that I'm settling into my role in life a little bit more. But when I first came for Sublime, I was like, my biggest fear was like, man, people are just going to think I'm this fucking shitty Nepo kid who grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. And they're like a Silver Lake kid. We had like $1 million equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
Stuff. And that's obviously not the case, but it's also not the case that I was like, you know, I think it's also stupid how we always need like our musicians to be like, I grew up in a coal mine. I never even saw this.
I know, right?
I was 18. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, the truth always lies somewhere in the middle anyways.
Yep.
I think that when I share the darker sides of my youth, I like to imagine there's like some kid out there who's got some similar situation who's like, fuck, I feel so alone and uncertain right now. And making music or their art is the only thing that makes them feel, you know, connected to something beyond them.
Right.
That's basically what the experience was like for me. You know what I mean? Like never being able to feel like I could connect to anyone around me, always feeling very scared in very adult situations. But wanting to fit in, but not knowing how, you know, it was all go for it. My bad.
No, you're totally right. Do you think that's why you felt like you had to grow up so fast?
Oh yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we learn to like parent ourselves, you know what I mean? Or we have to.
Yeah. Especially if you don't believe in the parenting the parent is giving you.
Right.
That's the big one. And I think that's probably like 90% of humans have disagreements about the way they were raised, this or that. And depending on the severity of it, you know, it's your right to never, ever forgive your parents if what they did was that bad. But for me, I nowadays have an awesome relationship with my mother, my dad, who's my stepdad, and man who raised me, I still call him dad, and, you know, and my grandparents too.
Right.
You know,
That's awesome.
I realized that it was worth it, that I didn't want to, you know, keep all this resentment over people who were really just trying to do the best they could.
Yeah, and we forget that it's their first time parenting.
Just gonna say that. It's like I love that saying. It's like their first time being a person too. It's their first time being alive. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why don't we give them as much? We don't give ourselves enough slack because we give everyone else a chance to fucking do better, but we forget about ourselves. Why do you think that is?
It's a tough one, man. Yeah, you mean cutting ourselves some slack?
Yeah, why can't we give the same slack to ourselves? Why are we so hard on ourselves versus giving everyone else this slack of not keep on giving people second chances and third chances and fourth chances?
Yeah, I completely agree. I've had to deal with that a lot too. I'm very fucking hard on myself. I always figured it was a sort of like, I don't know, like I get this anxiety that if I don't, you know, sit here and be bummed out and just fucking hate on myself for a second, that I'm gonna forget and not do better next time. But that's not really true, you know. It's like a lie we tell ourselves. Like,
right,
you know, being in self-pity is not useful. You should recognize bad behavior. You should try to correct it and see how you can do better next time.
Yeah.
But I will dive deep into self-pity. I will just drown in the fucking ocean, man.
Yeah.
I'll go into the it's addictive. It's a certain kind of addictive, like self-loathing, like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. I don't deserve X, Y, or Z, blah, 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 blah.
When was the first time you felt like that?
Pretty young, probably.
Yeah.
This is like a therapy podcast, dude.
This is, you know, we're just getting to know each other. We're gonna be friends, bro. We have the same friends. We're managed by the same manager. It's bound to happen, you know.
It's therapy and jam bands.
Yeah.
You guys got to come on our podcast. We just like make prank calls and take Zins.
See,
and
well,
hell yeah.
We'll get into the ketamine and the dick jokes here soon. Buddy.
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry. We gotta find out about the trauma first. Yeah. So
that makes it funnier if they're based on the trauma.
Well, isn't that the best comedy? Making fun of ourselves.
Tragedy over time.
I like getting deep, man.
Yeah. So, I'm just curious. Like, you know, I read about you, and I was wondering, like, what made you go into just drinking at 12? You know?
Oh, Jesus, man. Yeah, that was the very beginning. Again, I think it was trying to fit in and stuff. To tell the truth, it's just the best thing ever. You know, to all the young people listening, I'd say just drink and do all the drugs possible.
Get it out of the way young. Get it out
can
of the
go
way.
wrong.
Yeah.
I got young. Yeah, I'm fucking 7 years sober, coming up on 8, and
Wow.
getting sober is the best thing that ever happened. And you can't really get sober if you never had a drug problem. So it looks like drug.
Yeah.
You'll either die or get sober and have an awesome life. So just roll those dice.
I guess that's good advice.
No, but no, I hear you.
I get it.
I mean, I started playing music when I was 19, and I've been partying and going through it. And I was wondering, you turned 21. When you're 21, basically, you went sober. which is crazy to me.
That's when most people start.
That's
going to
when
the bars.
most people start rocking drugs
exactly.
and shit. So like,
yeah, I had about 7 good months of being able to legally buy liquor, and I remember it being sick, dude. I was like, no way, you can just walk in and buy it now?
yeah.
That's the grocery
Always
store.
fucking hassle to try to get as much booze as I wanted. Drinking was probably my drug of choice. But I did everything under the sun.
Which one did you like the most?
I'm an uppers guy.
Cocaine,
Speed and cocaine. Yeah.
Speed.
It went really good with the drinking.
Yeah, because you keep drinking.
Yeah, you keep going. Yeah.
So what was the day when you finally realized I had to stop all this shit? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, man. Fuck, dude. So this starting, man. Yeah, I was 12. All the adults around me were doing that kind of stuff, and they thought it was cool. Now here's a big part that I actually really want to. It's good to kind of have this documented or whatever. My dad, who raised me, he had this because that's how him and my mom, got to bond with their caretakers in the 70s. Families where that was okay to drink and do drugs with them too. And so maybe they remember their childhoods were far worse and far crueler than mine could ever imagine to be, is really what I always try to get at. And so I think they remembered the only good times being those times when they could share a joint or a shot with mom or dad or whoever it was, respectively. So when it came to the point where I was curious about trying drugs, they were still obviously having fun partying. My dad's philosophy was that it would be hypocritical of him to bar me, who he essentially saw as now a young man, from having those experiences if that's what I thought I wanted for myself. Now, that is very controversial. I don't know if that's what I would do with my kids. I don't have kids yet. I can't speculate about the future. But I do know that while part of me resented him for a long time, I wouldn't say he introduced me to it because I was going to try that stuff anyways. I actually ended up respecting him a lot more, and to this day, for keeping it real with me 100%. It'd be different if he was a sober dude telling me it's okay to do drugs. That would be equal. But he was just saying, hey, this is my life. This is what works for me. And, if you're curious about this stuff, then I'm not going to stop you from doing that kind of thing.
You're responsible for raising yourself, basically.
Exactly. And I think for the right person, that in a lot of ways, that's what worked for me. And I'm happy it turned out that way. And when it stopped working is when I realized that I couldn't really be that guy. I'm not a functional drug addict, and I'm not a functional drinker in any way. And it was the day I realized I really needed to stop stuff, because I had a bunch of, quitting and going, everybody does that. Like, I'm good. I'm 30 days sober, all this stuff.
Right.
I was 21, and it turns out drugs have like really bad health side effects. Who fucking knew?
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's why I didn't sleep
my
last
brain's
night.
going crazy because I just took a bunch of speed, for
Yeah.
10 days straight.
No wonder I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally heart palpitations. I'd have seizures from when I try to stop drinking because I was so.
Holy shit.
But yeah, delirium tremens, seeing shit, all that stuff. And I was like, I remember being on the floor of my grandparents' upstairs bathroom and realizing how close to death I was, and finally making it out of that, coming out of a blackout in a treatment center, and just being so grateful to be alive. Like I'd gotten too close to death. That's what worked in the beginning. That first year was just afraid of dying.
Yeah.
I really didn't. But that's not enough for everybody's got a different one. You know what I mean? Some people, they just wake up one day and they're done. Some people get into a crazy near-death experience. Who knows, But for me, that's when it really hit me. Like, okay, I need to fucking do this. I need to get sober. I'm going to fucking die at 21.
Would you go to rehab?
Yeah.
Detox, everything.
How long did that last?
I did 60 days of inpatient at a residential, no electronics, no nothing, no leaving. It was a trip, dude. Really trippy experience for a 21-year-old. Because, I was not your average 21-year-old either. Like, I didn't have any adult skills.
Right.
I didn't have worldly, useful skills at all. And that was by virtue of just, being a hapless drug addict.
Right.
I had certain advantages and certain disadvantages, like anybody else, I think. And then I did another 6 months in like a sober living and did like outpatient, IOP, intensive outpatient.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm an AA guy. That's what works for me. But I'm not like a sobriety, treatment, recovery, AA Nazi kind of dude. Like, I'm actually a huge drug advocate, which sounds weird and counterintuitive. But obviously, all things blah, blah, blah need to be within good reason and that sort of stuff. But they're just simply incredibly powerful experiences. And because of that, they cannot be, by their very nature, controlled. You're never going to be able to stop people from a certain type of people from wanting to experience that. It's just a part of life. For me, it's not just about like education in school. That should be a given, of course, drug educates. But it's so hard to make that not square. No matter how good. Hey there, fellow youngins. Let me tell you, whack to do drugs. And it's like, that always is going to seem phony, and it only serves to keep the people who are already not going to do drugs off of drugs. It's not going to. What I think is most important is mentorship. And so that's not from your own family. That's from your older friends. Right. Your older homies to be like, I remember a big reason I never tried or never got super into inhalants for whatever reason, out of all the other crazy drugs. I mean, I've done them a little bit, but I remember one of my buddies was like, dude, you really fucking huffing nitrous? I was like, yeah, I did it at this party. He's like, that shit's going to make your fucking brain pop, right?
Right.
And it's like, I kicked and party with, and I was like, fuck, my older homie Taylor thinks that's lame. I didn't realize that was the lame thing to do. Like, you almost got to like name your younger homie.
Yeah.
Giving them good knowledge, because then you realize your older friends are, just have to. So that's more of a message to, I guess, people who are friends and have younger friends and stuff like that. You really need to become that mentor, and I guess that role model. I hate using that word, but
who was your mentor going into rehab? Like, did you meet any guys in AA that?
Yeah, I have a sponsor, man, Johnny Santos, man.
Let's clap it up to Johnny Santos.
Johnny,
let's go, Johnny.
Thank you for everything, man. I know you did it because you fucking just did it, man. And I really appreciate it. I really don't think I'd be sober if we hadn't met. All right, still to this day, like I don't think I had have, and I wouldn't have met him without Ken Denson, one of the best tour managers in the fucking business. His name is Worldwide Ken Denson. He's for everybody's favorite band at one point or another. I think right now he does REO Speedwagon, and he was always not only a mentor with me in sobriety, but a mentor in me starting into the music industry through sobriety. So I really lucked out, man. That was the luckiest part, not how I was born or what I got, bumped into, this and that. Like, for me, it was meeting those right people. And I hadn't even made that connection. I guess that's good mentorship right there. Some older friends taught me the way.
So was your dad's band, well, actually your band members now,
yeah, your band now.
Were they there for you when you were a kid?
I'm
what?
I'm a hired gun.
But were they there for you when you were a kid?
They were around at times for sure. I remember them at my grandparents' house, or seeing Bud when I went to it's funny, we all worked at this, we all had the same like first job, or one of my first jobs. Like I worked so many fucking weird jobs because I dropped out of high school so early. Worked at a shop, and then I did fucking moving jobs where we'd like clear out old estate liquidations and shit like that. And then I actually worked at Coachella as a fucking stagehand for a couple of years in Stagecoach. It's so many weird odd jobs to try to fucking make shit work. And then I remember, but my first like long-term day job was at Billings Paint and Hardware, and shout out to Doug Billings. I actually saw him last night as I was getting food in Long Beach, and he's just lived here forever. His dad owned the spot before him, and when Doug was young, he gave jobs to his buddies, which happened to be the dudes from Sublime, and including Bud and Eric. And so when I was like 18 or 19 or something, my band Law, Doug had us out to his desert house in 29 Palms. 29 Palms?
29, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, come on out and play some songs. And Bud came out, and we hung out and jammed, and it was just fucking cool, man. I mean, they were around in the background, but they lived in different places, Yeah. I'd see them at like family get-togethers and stuff like that. In fact, that's what really made me want and decide to join, to start singing for them and stuff, is because it's kind of just fun, us all hanging out and like hearing their stories and connecting, like, I think it's been a really cool healing process for all of us, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, man. And I was thinking that, like, what do you think it is? What was that turning point that made you give the confidence to finally ask if you could be the singer?
Well, I always say it's something I never wanted to do.
Yeah.
Thought I should do, never thought I had the right to do. I mean, it's just so weird because no matter what I say in any public forum, you're never going to come off the right way to everybody.
Totally.
But yes, I could just tell you how it was for me, man. Is it just obviously I want to do my own music and connect with my art with an audience, totally agnostic of my father's work. But I started to realize that a lot of that is also kind of selfish too. I just simply wouldn't be here doing this if it weren't for my dad and his band. And then here I had an opportunity with, really all it was is that Eric wanted to do this HR benefit concert in LA. And so he thought like, oh, why don't I come up and sing? Because I had done a song or two with him, like Spray Allen jammed, his other band. And we got Bud in on it, and we just all were like, well, let's just all see if we have fun jamming together. And we did, and we played the show. We're like, fuck. I mean, we got Kevin Zinger and Joe Escalante. It seems like we're kind of have a team here. Why don't we just try to do this thing again?
Yeah.
I was scared shitless, dude.
I fucking bet, dude. I'd be too. Oh, fuck, dude.
It's like all of it, you know?
In fact, I only just recently started even enjoying it. Maybe like the Arizona show. It was like a month ago.
Yeah. I think about you during the first show really being in the band is fucking Coachella.
It's insane, yeah.
That was our first real show, billed as Sublime. Dude.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Like,
dude, it felt like jumping out of an airplane, dude.
Without a parachute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, it was the worst. It sucked so bad. I don't want to say it sucked because every music's dream is to play like a big show like that, man.
Well, like, yeah, to put you in the fucking fire right from the beginning. It's you didn't have no private soft
and all the history
opening, all the history. You're like, all right, this is his son.
No pressure.
Go give him hell, bud. Slap you on the ass.
No one's gonna be judging you very critically here. Yeah.
Dude, I wasn't even really fully confident with the material yet. I mean, we rehearsed, don't get me wrong. And but it takes a while. They're not my son, and it's not really, I think my voice naturally sounds like my dad's sometimes. And I love it when people tell me, oh my God, you sounded just like him. Because I'm like, okay, thank God I'm passing. Like I'm barely squeaking by. Like when you learn another language and people are like just barely understanding you. I'm like, okay, thank God I'm sort of making it work, because I can hear the parts where I don't sound anything like it. Where my instincts to do certain melodies aren't exactly the same, you know?
Right.
And I've come to realize that this iteration of Sublime is going to be a different iteration of Sublime. You know, it's going to be what it is. No one can replace my dad. Fucking bottom line, period, you know?
Right.
That's why I say I'm the lead singer of Sublime. Like, I sometimes sing songs for my uncles and my dad's band. Like, that's... I open every show and I say, my name is Jakob Nowell and this is Sublime. And that's people behind me, man. And now I've gotten to a point where I'm almost happy that we jumped in feet to the flames and I just got to do this kind of big stuff, because I spent my entire career, dude, in obscurity doing nothing. I wish I had the connections of fucking the big time Nepo kids, dude. Like, how come I pop off when I was fucking 21 then?
Yeah.
Well, and
the offer that people gave us, I mean, we got some sick stuff, don't get me wrong. There was for sure like the occasional booking that only got our way because someone wanted to hook us up because they believed in the project of the son of some dude they were a fan of, and that's awesome. But Sublime wasn't necessarily Nirvana. It feels big to us here in California, or if you are a fan of their work and you understand them, but they're somewhere in between the Minutemen and Nirvana, in my opinion, or maybe the Buttholes. Like it's or Pixies, you know, or Cake, like bands that like I love and I think are amazing, and I think they're huge, or Violent Femmes, you know what I mean, man? And totally. They got a little bit past that, but it wasn't to this like huge degree, and so that was also another huge inciting factor. Is I was like, fuck, dude, this is my father's work. This is what he died for. He died for his craft, dude, and he left behind so many amazing gifts for me. I spent all this time like resenting that I was never going to step out of a shadow or something, and not wanting to use any of that association at all, to finally realizing that, you know, I need to accept who I am, where I came from, and pay my dues. And that's easy to be like, oh, must be real tough paying your dues. Poor kid had to play Coachella. It's like,
No, but you're in the van. They don't realize that you had your own band. You're fucking grinding it out with no fucking help, bro.
Also, playing Coachella as your first show is paying a due. That's fucking hard.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
way harder than you think. It's hard to do it without doing like a bar 100 times before you do that.
Right.
you don't know how many times I try not to read comments anymore, but like, I thought I got that first show. I thought I got the What I Got solo pretty good. Not the fucking, I definitely didn't get the Santeria solo down, but I thought I played What I Got pretty. I thought I got right. But some people are just no. And then I realized, it doesn't really matter how accurately or good I say. It's just not going to be enough for anybody.
Yeah,
But
tell these people to suck your dick from the back, Jacob. Seriously, fuck these people.
Yeah.
And no, but I respect the criticism because it helps me grow as an artist at the same time. But I'm just like, that was my point though, is I'm playing, I look over, there's giant Jake on this giant thing. And I'm like, everything's being recorded in 4K and being exported in fucking lossless wave files. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Thank God I'm good looking.
Yeah. Yeah. I just knew that there was going to be so much scrutiny on what I did. And finally, I'm here to report for the first time. It was the Arizona show where it changed, where there was this 30-minute section where I completely disappeared and left my body and was just really enjoying playing this material with Trey and Dougie and Bud and Eric. And I mentioned it to Eric afterwards because he had talked about feeling like that at the WSL show that we played in Huntington Beach. And I was like, dude, I fucking feel that, man. And he's like, yeah, dude, that's it's kind of what Sublime's all about. And kind of laughed and walked off, and not in like a dick way. He was just like, it was just like, oh my God, it felt like so human. I mean, how lucky is it that these three basically random like punk rock beachy Long Beach dudes made music that even got to this fucking point, man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I spent all this time just stressing about wanting to achieve some kind of fucking fame or success so I could get validation for my music.
Right.
And playing Sublime and popping that cherry for me before I was ready for it almost demystified it for me in a way that at first was disillusioning and scary and a bum out. But now I'm stoked on it because I realized all those things I were chasing were not real. It was fucking fugazi. It was fugazi.
It's in your head, baby. It's in your head.
It was all mirrors. I realized the real important things that matter is that connection you feel on stage when you're performing with other musicians and the experience that you're giving to an audience and those memories that you get to create for people. So the learning lesson of all this or the resolution was for me to create my own record label with my fucking friend Zano, the guitar player. Go check him out, Wet Marsupial on Instagram, and check out Sunburnt Records, pretty please. And the idea is not to become like, I mean, we're going to fucking, we're going to war. We're going to take down all the other fucking indie labels. We're coming for them. But I mean, it's not like, oh, we're going to be the Beatles. It's, I want to put on some fucking rad shows for like 100, 200 people and see if they make some memories that they get to tell my kid in the same way that I get to hear these old timers talking about when they were kids going to my dad's shows. Like, seeing people like meet each other and make bands or fucking date or create memory. That's life. That's human life. And we're just doing it because we wanted to play some songs that made us happy and like go out to a show and hear loud noises come out of speakers. It's so simple and fucking cool. And the more that we just have fun and goof around with Sunburnt and try to use my platform with Sublime to promote my friends' music so that they can get the recognition that they deserve, that they're craving. I want them to be able to get to that stage where they get to peer behind the fucking veil.
Totally.
And then they get to be the ones who stand up there on that Coachella stage for their own music, for their own right, and say, God damn, this is trippy.
Yeah. So I got a couple questions here. First off, the reason why you finally felt good about it is because you're finally comfortable. I mean, you're new to the fucking thing. So Arizona probably was like, okay,
I know these songs.
I know these songs. I know this rhythm. I know how to have my own piece in this diagram that is Sublime. You know?
Exactly. I figure out where I fit in now.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think I'm a sports fan. So I think about like when you get traded on a team and they do really shitty for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Until you get comfortable with yourself and know your new role in this part. It's like you're afraid to be present because you're afraid you have to make everyone else like you instead of like being comfortable in your own skin and actually being a band, you know?
And the material. You just don't know the material.
You don't know that. Yeah, exactly. And now you do, and now you're fucking comfortable, and now you're fucking kicking ass. So my question is, now that you've seen the bigger side of music, do you hate the music industry more or do you like it more?
I would say that's the Sunburn Expeditionary Force is going to war, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of parts of the industry are totally jive. Like they're not, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's always going to be really tough, just like how Don Passman says in his book, where art and commerce intersect. We live in a time where we cannot, you know, diffuse the two. They have to be part of one another. So that's always going to create all these weird controversies. But as far as controversies go and drama, I think it's only, you know, worth talking about to us as artists in so much that it's useful to our storytelling and our writing.
Right.
So, I mean, what a beautiful story if you want to look at the greater narrative of how popular music has been consumed. I like to look at it like we're in like the fucking ashes of a fallen kingdom. So it's time for the fucking, you know, the rebels to rise up.
Let's
and that's how
fucking
everybody
go.
feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, when you're young and you want to fucking make some noise and do some crazy shit. And I want music that makes people want to fight and fuck and cry. And, you know, like that's the kind of the people that I like to sign and to work with in the stuff that we do.
Well, there's your dad in you.
See it happen. So as long as there's people that want to come out to live music events, I feel like we don't even need an industry. You know what I mean, man? Like it's tough, but I have to remain optimistic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'd be jaded as fuck, bro.
You already are jaded as fuck.
I am, but if in his position,
that's what I'm saying.
I've been on tour 15 years with my band, and I'm jaded. I'd be even more jaded if how much pressure they're putting on this fucking kid.
Yeah, it's like being Peyton Manning.
Tell him to suck your dick from the back, Jake. I'm gonna say it again. Everyone talking shit about my boy, my new boy. We're gonna be friends.
We're
fuck
fucking
off.
Boys.
Yeah, tell him to fuck off. Like,
and leave Bronny James alone.
And leave Bronny James alone too. LeBron James kid. No, but so I think about this, bud, because you want your own legacy, and you're gonna have your own legacy, and this is great. This is like got to be a soul fulfilling thing because you really never had your dad. Your dad passed away so long ago. Like,
oh, dude,
you were 11 months old, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So you kind of don't even remember him. You just know the stories.
It was always through stories.
So is that why you always went to his last show he had?
The venue?
The venue?
Yeah, dude, exploring the Phoenix Theater. I mean, like I said, there's a great fucking story. There's some drama to this whole thing. I mean, that's what makes this such an interesting story that I get to be a part of.
Right.
I mean, we're always looking for purpose and meaning. I just want to tell anybody out there who feels like they're devoid of purpose or meaning right now, like you can fucking find it and you will. It took me 29 years, but in a weird way, I think that's what I was looking for going to that theater.
Why'd you keep going there? What was in your head?
It's really hard to find a time to connect with / grieve / even think about my father in a personal way that is uniquely mine and that is alone. That's what's a weird process about it. Having lots of people have dead family members. Not a lot of people have dead family members who were also beloved by
living legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So every time I have to think about him or interact with them, or like it's why people ask me like, well, why don't you go to his grave every year? It's because it's surrounded by all these strangers I don't know. That's no way to grieve a family member. And it's no offense to them. I hope they keep coming. I'm glad that there's people out there who want to keep a memory alive and experience it, but I ain't gonna fucking be there because it's just it is very emotional, and that's just not the way that I'm able to authentically connect with that shit. So going to that theater, it felt like it's just me in this big empty room, or frequently it was filled with teenagers, fucking taking mushrooms and skateboarding, which is actually kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Kind of rules, actually.
That's actually pretty rules.
That's cool that teenagers. That's cool that teenagers are still like connecting with them. Like,
it's pretty crazy.
In a weird way, right? They're like, to them, it's kind of probably this cool mecca too, because they know, like, oh, the dudes from Sublime played their last show. It's probably got a little bit of a mystique and a legend to it. And I want like that. The dudes who own the place are like the nicest guys too, very respectful and just cool old fucking rock and roll dudes who want to create an awesome space for. Oh, dude, a Sunburnt show there. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we'll do Sunburnt North. That'll be rad.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because they do all ages shows there and shit.
There you go. We get credit for the idea. We'll take 10% of the ticket sales.
Sales off the top, dude, off the gross.
Gross, yes. I like this guy's thinking.
So do you think going
30?
Like, have you always wanted to follow your dad's legacy?
It's like this weird fucking anime protagonist adventure thing. Like, you hear all these stories about him and you want to chase that. You're so many ways searching for your dad in the things that he must have done, whether for me that looked like drugs and sex, drugs, and rock and roll, drugs and rock and roll. Just that. Then there was so much like lore and mystery and drama, and it was like this fucking medieval quest, man. And I think that's what I was searching for, is a way to, without knowing I was searching for that, really. And so, oftentimes I'm like, man, I should have just fucking been a writer or a chef or a or done something like that, and then just not picked up the mantle. But I guess I was always heading in this direction, whether I wanted to admit it to myself or not. So I have to just live like a most authentic version of myself. And man, finally feels like I'm getting there a little bit. Not every day. There's bad days too, but we're about to go closer to the sun in fucking Mexico. I never played outside the country before.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is going to be rad.
It's going to be awesome, man. Now, I think about also, what's your relationship with Rome?
Ooh, let's get controversial, dude.
It's not about being controversial.
Don't.
No, I wanted to tell. I think a lot of stuff kind of got taken out of context, or it was a time when I was maybe more emotional about it. Right when the transition was happening, and like there was all these kind of like headlines. I say headlines, but I'm like, it's not like we're fucking, Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Like, it's not like who really cares except for a select few, people. But yeah, dude, the thing is, I never want to give the impression like I have more of a right to fucking, who cares? You know what I mean? It's not, I was, here's the difference, is that I was asked to do it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, see, there's anything I'm going to say is going to come off shitty towards the guy, but like, no. I have to keep it a buck always, man. I'm always just going to keep it 100. And I just never liked again, it comes down to grieving and dealing with the loss of a loved one. And when you see someone else on stage singing those songs with calling himself essentially and trying to market himself as the name of that band, sucks, dude. It really fucking hurts. And no one can tell me shit about that. Like, I'm sorry, but like, that's what I'm not always going to say what the correct, media training thing would be to say about that, because that part of it sucks. So when we wanted to just do Sublime again, which should be a totally uncontroversial thing, it comes out of no entitlement for me to like take over his position or like beggar him or like, try to make them go broke or mess with their shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't, that has nothing to do with that, but it will have to be an inevitable thing that comes with the territory, because, Bud and Eric are Sublime. Wherever they're playing, that's what the band is. I think there was a lot of this media look where he was like, oh, they're just kicking me to the curb because Jake and the boys want to do Sublime, and it's just fucked up because I have faithfully kept these songs alive for all the fans. Like, no, I disagree. I almost said the media training thing. My manager's gonna be so pissed at me.
No, I won't.
This is actually better.
This is you're talking it out, bro.
dude.
Fuck what everyone thinks. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know, like who cares?
This is truly how I feel. And dude, I don't know him that well as a person. The few interactions I have with him didn't leave an amazing impression on me. But you know, I'm sure he's a good dude who has a family, and I personally happen to think he's a great guitar player and singer. And he played those songs good. He can sing them a lot more accurately than I can, and a lot of times, man. I lucked out because I got the fucking larynx. I fucking related to the original singer. Like, it's not a contest of who can be more Bradley. You know what I mean? Like, we had a different take and approach. I'm going to sing them like how Jake sings them. And it's not because I'm trying to do that willfully. To the fans out there, I'm trying very hard to learn the songs and the melodies and the riffs. They're very difficult, but they're very fun to play. And I feel very lucky that I even get to be in this position. But it's not a contest. I don't think I'm more deserved. You know, I'll put it like this. If you guys have a singer you like who you think you'd rather perform the songs, I'll have him go up there and do it, dude. I don't fucking need to do this.
I'm gonna clap to that. Actually,
I like that.
Yeah, like we can do a contest. Like, he's the guy who sings for Queen now.
Yeah,
people seem to like
Adam Lambert, or
what about that? What about
Yeah.
that Filipino dude who's in like Rush?
Journey? Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude,
Rush.
singer for Alice in Chains. Like, it's not uncommon. It does happen. The difference with Rome is that it was not a consensual thing. And in a case of Alice in Chains, that's Lane Staley's band, really.
Yeah.
I mean, not Lane Staley, my fucking God. Who's a guitar player? God, I can't think of his name.
Oh, Jerry Cantrell. Right?
Cantrell. There.
Yeah.
It makes sense because that was that kind of thing. If the bandmates wanted the thing to happen, well, that's the band then, dude. It got to a point where Bud's not in the band anymore, Eric's not in the band anymore, and they want to do it with a different singer.
Right.
I'm happy that they play, but I don't agree with the decisions and the route that Sublime with Rome entity. I hate even having to. Let's not dance around the subject. They thought, and everyone else believed that just was Sublime.
Right.
The reason they were called Sublime with Rome because it was not consensual. Like, me and my family didn't want that to be Sublime. It just didn't feel right in any sense of the word.
Right.
And all of their bookings and their marketing, like, look at the difference of shows that they're playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the Reggae Circuit Fest, which I love all those bands. Nothing wrong with the Reggae Circuit Fest, but it's just not. I imagine if Sublime was still around in its original entity, they'd play like maybe one or two of those a year. But we play fucking, you know, No Values, the punk rock fest. We play Coachella. We play fucking, you know what I mean? I don't know if I can announce that we're doing that yet, but
yeah,
you know, right?
We're doing the same thing.
Yeah, dude, like fucking.
You must have the same manager.
It's an alternative fucking band, dude.
Yeah.
And so the way that they that's one thing I don't agree with, is just the way that the legacy was carried on, if you want to call it that. It didn't seem quite right. It seemed more, I mean, you know, everything down to the formula up there and stuff. You could ask my Uncle Eric like how he felt about it and stuff like that. Like the tracks and the huge fucking ensembles and all the stuff. It just wasn't what that band originally was. And the music that they ended up making just wasn't really like, you know, it just felt like a whole new band, which it was. It was Sublime with Rome, so make it more that.
Right.
I'm kind of,
you know,
here, but
no,
I'll wrap it up.
No, you're fine, man. I think
it's your life.
It's your life, and it's your dad's story, and
it's your legacy to carry
and your
on.
legacy to carry on. If you want to do it, there's no pressure on you to do it. But if you want to do it, you're fucking taking initiative, and I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah. Also,
bro.
if it was like that, you would have done it 9 years ago, but you didn't.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, people have been wanting me to do this since I was fucking 12, and they figured I could play guitar, but it never was. You know what I mean? Like, I for the longest time I had no problem. For me, it was this transition phase. So what a lot of people don't know, and I'll just tell you the fucking God's honest truth right now, fuck all the media shit, is that they had Eric leave the band. That's really what happened.
Right.
Whoa.
It wasn't. Yeah, dude, that's the shit that people don't know.
Is that the guitarist? Eric?
What's that?
Is he the guitarist? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, bass player.
Bass player,
and then,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude. And he was the last original member.
Right.
So it was like sort of like a hostile takeover from within to fucking fully capture and solidify their power
Mutiny.
as the de facto Sublime band. But they overextended. You know, it turns out you do need actual members of the original band to continue it.
Yeah. It's called a coup.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah,
it's called a coup.
You got to have the Big Mac at Burger King, guys. You can't have the Whopper.
Fucking Kevin Zinger, dude. It would have stayed that way, dude. He was the one who really was able to mastermind and get all of our troops into position to get back what is essentially rightfully ours. And I'll never forget this fucking phone call I had with Rome while I was on tour. I guess it was at the top of this year. Fuck, it was in probably January when I was in DC after a show I played on tour with G Love. And I had this call, and we were supposed to just talk real nice and civil and just say, I wanted to know. And he's probably got his own version, dude. Like, I'm never going to I don't really feel like, oh, fuck this dude, he's a piece of shit. No. Not at all. He has not screwed me over in any fucking way. I just don't agree with certain things. It's fine to not agree about certain things with guys. And I don't agree with the way that he handled this, because I was just like, hey man, I just wanted to go over, we got a lot of media press stuff coming up, and just want to figure out how you want to, spin the story and stuff like that. And then that's
very respectful of you and mature of you, Jacob.
Dude, I swear to God, he might not remember it like that, but I wish I had it fucking recorded. And my manager had suggested to me to try to find common ground. So the first thing after that was, I bet you might be the only other person in the world who can relate with me what it feels like to, live in someone's shadow and have to try to live up to a thing like that. And as I'm saying that, he cuts me off and he goes, yeah. So how many shows you guys playing this year? How many shows you guys playing this year?
Oh, he wasn't even listening to you.
What?
He wasn't
even
listening.
Shows? And he was like, you guys cannot play more than X amount of shows, because if you do, it's going to fuck all this stuff up. And I have my family and all these employees that work for me, and you can't do this to me. How the fuck am I finding out through the internet that this is happening? And bro, trust me, if the roles reverse, I'm sure, he was probably freaking out. His whole livelihood. I'm empathetic towards that cause, but there's simply nothing I can do about that, man. Like, if he would have just been cool, he probably would be up there playing guitar with us, dude. Like, no, dude. But he wanted the whole fucking thing.
Right.
He wanted, because he felt like it was his, I guess, because he'd done it for so long. I mean, if there's anyone else in the world who can relate in a similar situation, getting thrust into that, it's probably him, dude. Right. That's why, frankly, it sucks. Like, I don't see why there has to be any beef or any weirdness. He's worked with a lot of the bands that I like and that I've worked with. It's fine. I think his solo shit's rad. I love fucking Duddy and the Dirty Heads. All that shit's just fine.
It's like breaking up with a girlfriend, though. It's going to be painful at first, and hopefully you could be friends at the end.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all that stuff was fine. SWR was fine, but it just wasn't Sublime.
Right.
And that's not for me to say. And I felt like I'm not the arbiter. I just got asked to fucking do this. I almost feel like an outsider. Yeah. I'm now learning all this stuff, being on the road with my Uncle Eric, him showing me all of his musical influences.
Fucking tight.
His brain, where they came from. Like, I feel really accepted into, this is a family thing at the end of the fucking day, dude.
Right. And you're getting to know your family that you've been thriving to have your whole fucking life, bro.
Yeah, these godfathers.
When people say, oh, SWR was keeping the dream alive for fans, or they were keeping the music alive. No, the fans were keeping the fucking music alive. God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
You think that if SWR didn't play, that the sun would set on the era of Long Beach and Sublime and Magic faded from the lands as no one was there to bear the torch? No, dude, people would still be blasting 40 ounce driving down the fucking freeway, dude. Yeah. It's a great record. It's a great fucking record.
It is.
There's awesome cover bands out there like fucking Badfish and Burritos and fucking name a bunch more, dude. Like, that music cannot die any more than Led Zeppelin hasn't played a show in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's tons of examples.
Well,
like,
the thing is, like, it's like you have to take the ego out of it and just like service the music that was so beautiful for all our lives. That's what some people aren't doing.
Yep, exactly, man. And that's why I don't think I'm fucking keeping something alive, or I'm the rightful dude, or it's been awkward for me up until this point, as I've said. And it's probably always going to have some little bit of discomfort and tension, because it's just not my material.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what I am is a guy who likes to hang out with his family, like to meet new people, travel, see the happy faces of the people at the shows that we put on. And playing these songs, dude, is fucking fun. They're really well written, really, really good songs.
Yeah.
And for me, it is 100% connecting with my dad, dude. I hate all that ear shit when people are like, do you feel like the ghost of your dad enters into your body when you play? And I'm like, whoa, fuck, can he enter my body anytime, dude? That's weird. Like, what if I'm banging a chick? Fuck, I didn't even get to fucking nut, dude. My dad took that away. What? So I don't believe in that kind of shit, but I pray saying that.
That's so
because,
fucking
dude,
funny.
playing that Arizona show and at some other shows too, these little moments, I feel about damn near as close as any of that other spiritual shit, and in English too, man. It is insane, dude. It feels so. I'm so grateful for it, dude. I really am. I'm so fucking grateful. I feel lucky,
Dude.
And that's just something it's a different experience than going and seeing an SWR show. It just always is going to be,
Bro. It's because you're loving yourself, my man.
What a great perspective.
It's a great perspective. Now you're finally loving who you fucking are, dude. It's great to feel, dude. Right?
Dude, some days are better than other, but when it hits, dude, it's exactly like that, man. It feels like finally coming to that. And I think that's everyone's story with our growth and maturity and adulthood and shit like that.
Yeah.
It feels like you finally have made it to this place. And for me, I thought that was going to be, wanting to be the next biggest fucking thing since the Beatles, but it turns out it's not that. What I really wanted is a sense of belonging. Right now, I don't belong to the band Sublime. I belong to an awesome fucking family of people. I go over to my fucking manager, Kevin Zinger's house, and that man is like a father to me.
Right.
With my friend Zane, who's like a fucking brother to me, and all of our friends at Sunburn, we are a fucking team.
Right.
And it's like that song, The Heart Part 6 on that new Kendrick record. You guys should check that out.
I love it. I've listened to it.
Dude, it's such a great record. It's probably my number one this year. But, he was talking about how, like, if he made it, that means I made it.
Right.
Made it, that means the whole team made it,
Right.
And so for doing this, it's like I just have this desire to just bring this to other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as I possibly fucking can. Just to maybe even just to prove to myself or to anybody out there that this isn't just for me because I wanted to play the Tonight Show, Coachella,
right.
or like get aim out there. I'm so grateful for the looks that I'm getting and the attention. Of course I am. We're entertainers.
And it gets me thinking, and it's also like when you realize this isn't the end, this is just another chapter in your book. Because you will get back to your music and you will get back to having the legacy that is you and not just the legacy you're doing with your dad's music.
Dude, so well said. My biggest fear in my life is that I could never step out of my dad's shadow.
Right.
But almost stepping into it is the way that I realized that I could just leave it all behind, man. It's the weirdest thing. It's like a fucking one of those Chinese finger traps, man.
Right.
Pulling and it won't come off, and you just have to go in sometimes. And now in a weird way, it feels like I'm more free to do anything, and it feels more possible to just truly fucking do my own shit, whatever that ends up looking like. Because at the end of the day, at least I know I have some good fucking people around me.
Amen.
And it looks like I'm fucking good people every day, man. I got some new fucking brothers right here.
Oh, it's going down, Jacob. We're going to be homies, brother.
Yes.
That probably brings me to my last question I want to ask you. With everything going on in your life, with you getting back to the roots of what your family's legacy is and the people around you that was with you your whole life, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered by?
Man. What do I want to be remembered by? I mean, the answer would have always been, creating some epic song that changed people's lives in the world. And maybe even an hour ago, I would have said that. But given the conversation we just had, I think I'm kind of realizing in this moment, if I could be remembered by having a positive impact with most of the people that I had meaningful relationships with.
Oh, yeah.
If I could really be remembered for that, that would be that's a real tearjerker, man. That would be amazing.
Well,
oh yeah.
That's why we're out here on earth to help each other, brother. Let's keep being genuine and tell the people who don't deserve your love to suck your dick from the back, baby.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start using that. That's a good one.
Hey, what's that phone number one more time?
My dick ain't even that big, so you're really going to have to get in there, buddy.
You're going to have to really be in that asshole, baby. You're going to have to really sniff it up. All right, buddy. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine and don't be too hard on
looks
yourself.
nice.
You deserve to be happy, man. You deserve to enjoy
Thanks,
this
man.
moment. Seriously. You're back with your
Yes.
fam. Go get them.
Likewise. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one, buddy.
Peace, brother.
Later.
Yeah.